Hello everyone, welcome back to Practical Mystic. Good afternoon from my side, and by the way, I am Maria. This time, this is not about tarot reading session. This is not about God's message through a prophetic dream. This is about my discussion regarding the narcissist, okay? How to spot a narcissist and how also to handle people who have that narcissistic personality, okay? So, particularly, in this video, we are going to tackle about how to bruise the narcissist's ego. Okay? In general, it is known that the narcissists are very egotistic. They are very egotistic, or they have a high egotistic personality. Okay? Unlike the empath, they do not have much ego, but they are very intuitive. So for the narcissist, they do not have intuition because of their high ego. Okay, so if we are going to bruise their ego, it can lead to a very serious conflict. If you are dealing with someone who have a strong narcissistic traits, trying to bruise their ego often escalates the conflict, meaning it can worsen the conflict and can trigger retaliation. They can multiply the manipulation in the scene and enhance or worsen the emotional abuse. So, a more effective approach is by protecting your own emotional stability and limiting the control they have over you. Okay? So, instead of bruising their ego, by doing it, it will only worsen the conflict, it will only enhance the manipulation and trigger the retaliation. So, the more you will become emotionally drained in that situation. So, it is best advised to protect your own emotional stability by in such a way that you do not give them the chance to control you emotionally and mentally. So, the first strategy that tend to work better than attacking their ego is, number one, stay emotionally neutral. You know, the narcissistic personalities often seek emotional reactions because it gives them a sense of power or importance. Because of their ego, the way that they can control people around them is by triggering you to give off your energy in a form of reaction. Okay? Your reaction is what they are craving for, because if you give more emotional reaction to them, it will only give more power to them. In other words, your reaction is their power. When you give your attention, it only means that you give away your power to them. Okay, so the best thing to do, again, is to stay emotionally neutral in such a way that you stay calm and you give only brief responses. When you say only at least 3 words, in order to reduce reward. Because if you speak too much, more words to utter, the more that they are going to devalue you and make you emotionally drained. Okay? And the second strategy that tend to work better than attacking their ego is to set firm boundaries. Okay? It clearly states what behavior you will and will not tolerate. If you know that the person you are communicating with or the person that you are dealing with is a narcissist, I tell you to set a firm boundaries. Firm boundaries in the sense that you put a physical distance between you and them, him or her. Okay? So you set a boundary in the sense that you establish a physical distance between you and the narcissist. At the same time, you do not create emotional cords to them. Okay? Whether you like it or not, there is narcissistic cords that we do not see around us. These narcissistic cords are coming from people who are called as the narcissist. Their cords will connect you, and once it is being attached to you, you will now become their victim, or could be that you will become their energy fuel or the narcissistic fuel. Okay? They need your energy in order to maintain their power. Okay? And the source of their power is through your emotional reaction. Okay? Remember that emotion is energy. Okay? So, an example of a situation that you are setting a firm boundary is like when you are having a conversation with this person, and then you set a firm boundaries by saying, I am not continuing this conversation if you insult me. Okay? So you have to discern whether the person is insulting you or not. And if you discern that the person is insulting you, you say this statement, I am not continuing this conversation if you insult me. And that's it. Meaning, you are setting your firm boundary. And then, another instance, showing that you are creating a firm boundary is like, I need respectful communication. Meaning to say, if in that situation, you are talking while they're listening, but the way they listen does not show respect, okay? If they are not showing politeness or respect to you during the time that you're communicating, you better say this statement, I need respectful communication, period. Okay? So meaning to say, you are letting them know that you are setting a firm boundary. Okay? And if they listen to you, by the time that you hurled that statement, you may continue the conversation. But if still they do not listen, again, state this, I need respectful communication, period. Okay? So in that case, it is truly aligned to one of the verses from the Bible. It is located in Proverbs chapter 26, verse 4 to 5. Okay? It states there that, do not answer the foolish arguments of the fools, or you will become as foolish as they are. Okay? So, if you are in an argument with the fools, I know that the fools, the way they say is also sounds foolish. Okay? So, if you are having an argument with the foolish, do not answer. Do not answer them. Do not talk to them. Because if you respond to their argument, you will become as foolish as they are. So, do not go to the level of the fools. Okay? If you know that they are foolish, do not go down to their level in such a way that you answer to their foolish arguments. Okay? And in verse 5, be sure to answer the foolish arguments of fools, or they will become wise in their own estimation. Meaning, when you answer the foolish arguments of the fools, do not show emotional attachment. Do not show emotional reaction. Just respond to what they say without emotional reaction. Just respond. Do not react emotionally. Okay? Or they will become wise in their own estimation. Sometimes, not all arguments are worth arguing. If you feel that the argument is not really important to argue, so you better walk away. And do not seek for their validation. Do not seek validation from the fools. Okay? But if you think that the argument needs to be argued or defended, so you respond to the argument without emotional reaction. Okay? So that's it. Do not seek validation from the fools by reacting to their arguments. No, there's no need. No reward for arguing with the fools. Take note of that. Okay? And the third strategy that tend to work better than attacking their ego is, don't ever explain yourself. Do not spend much time and energy and effort to explain overly, over and over to them regarding yourself. Okay? Because long explanations can become the openings for arguments, guilt-tripping, or manipulation. Okay? So let us say, for example, if you say too much to them, they will create a drama, okay, in a form of argument. They were able to create an argument because of the long conversation you have about yourself, or because of your explanation about yourself. Okay? So, in order to avoid drama or arguments, is that you better keep your mouth shut. Do not explain anything or everything about yourself. And another is, the more you talk, the more you say with the narcissist, the more they know the secrets that you kept for a long time. Okay? So, in order to avoid guilt tripping. Actually, they are using that guilt tripping. They can make you feel guilty based on the knowledge that they get from the long conversation you delivered about yourself. Okay, so if you do not want to allow the narcissist manipulate you through guilt tripping, is that do not talk about yourself. Anything about yourself, do not talk. Okay, so that they would not have no knowledge about yourself. They will never know how to manipulate you and guilt tripping you. Okay, and lastly is that the most common thing done by the narcissist, whether they are a covert narcissist, overt narcissist, or malignant narcissist, is manipulation. For manipulation is an indication that they can really control the minds, the mental energies, and the emotions or the emotional energies of the people around them through manipulation. Okay? So if you do not want the narcissist to control your mind and control your emotion, is that do not speak too much. Do not over-explain yourself. Okay? You will only say the wrong words if you speak too much. Do not reveal your secrets by talking too much. Avoid that one in the presence of the narcissist. Okay? If you do not want them to manipulate you, be quiet. Okay? Do not say anything about yourself so that they will have no knowledge about you on how to control you, manipulate you, guilt trip you, and create drama about you. Okay? The fourth strategy that tend to work better than attacking their ego is avoid seeking validation from them. Remember that the narcissists are well versed in hating. They hate. Even their auric field is full of hatred. That when you look at them, you will also feel hatred. Okay? You can easily absorb the hatred that they possess. So, do not keep in touch with these people. Do not approach them. Okay? And never seek validation from them. They do not have the authority, the capacity. I mean, they do not deserve you seeking validation. They are the ones who does not deserve you to seek validation from. Okay? So these people with narcissistic traits may withhold empathy or approval to maintain control. Actually, the narcissists, aside from the fact that they are very egotistic, they are full of pride, they also do not have empathy. Okay? They do not have feelings. They do not have emotions. They can never feel mercy about the sufferings of the people around them. Okay? So, they do not deserve to be the person whom you are seeking validation. If you know that this person is a narcissist, don't ever seek for their validation. They do not deserve to be the persons whom you seek validation from. Okay? So, the best thing to do is keep away. I mean, move away from these persons. Okay? From this person, and find another persons whom you believe do not have a narcissistic trait. Okay? And then seek validation from them if they deserve to be the ones whom you can seek validation. Building confidence independently weakens their influence. Meaning, only if you distance yourself from them, you establish firm boundaries between you and them, you do not allow them to control you emotionally, by focusing more about yourself. Be self-centered. Do not mind about them. Just focus more on yourself. Because if you think about the narcissist, about the things that they have done to you, the more you give attention to them, the more you give away your power to them. Okay? So from now on, I want you to do this. By focusing more about yourself, do not mind about them, but be more mindful about yourself. Focus on yourself. And be confident. Do something that can help you improve or boost your confidence. Because building your self-confidence can independently weakens their influence and control over you. Okay? So, take note of that. And the fifth strategy that tend to work better than attacking their ego is use the gray rock method when necessary. Gray rock is the same with the rock formations you may see at the seashore. Gray rock in this context means be polite while listening to their conversation, but emotionally uninteresting around them. Meaning, you just listen to them. You listen to them, but actually, you do not show emotional interest about the things that they just said. Okay? So, just listen. And then say, agree. Yes. Okay. Really? You're listening attentively, but you do not show emotion. There is no emotional attachment, or you are not interested emotionally about the things that they've just said. Okay, so that's the technique when you are having a conversation with a narcissist. Factual answers can reduce the drama. Okay, so when you are having a conversation with the narcissist, aside from you are using the gray rock method, tell the factual answer. Speak the truth. Okay? The truth can reduce the drama during that situation. Okay? Do not be afraid to tell the truth, because the truth can help you be free. The truth can set you free, as stated in the book of Romans. Okay? So, the sixth strategy is focus on the consequences and not on revenge. Do not take revenge, because if you take revenge, you will just have no difference with the narcissist. Remember that the narcissist is always a low vibrational person. This person is low energy because of their anger, their fear, their control, manipulative tactics. Okay? And if you take revenge with this narcissist, you will also become low vibrational just like them. You will become a person with low energy, because by the time that you are taking revenge, you experience hatred. And remember that hatred is a low vibrational emotional energy. Therefore, you are now a person with low energy. Okay? So if the narcissist hurt you so much, do not take revenge. Never. Because if you take revenge, the two of you will just be in the same page. Okay? The two of you will just become low vibrational also, under the grip of bad karma. Okay? So instead of hurting their ego, try to prioritize yourself, in the sense that you keep distance from them physically, and you have set boundary. Okay? In such a way, they could only have limited access to your emotions. Okay? Do not let them control your emotions. Okay? So to minimize or to limit their access on your emotions is by establishing a firm boundary. Okay? And focus more about yourself, because self-respect is more important. Love yourself, respect yourself, boost your self-confidence as your way of independently weakening their influence and power over you. Okay? And establish a healthier relationship with the narcissist as your friend, as your co-worker, family member, in such a way that you have firm boundary between them. Okay? So, if ever they are your siblings, you cannot accept that they are narcissists. So the only thing you can do is establish a healthier relationship with them by establishing a strong boundary. Okay? In such a way that you love them from afar. Okay? You love them, but you need to create a wall between you and them, so that they cannot control you emotionally and manipulate you mentally. Okay? And the seventh strategy that tend to work better than attacking their ego is protect yourself if the relationship is very abusive. This is very common to couples. Okay? Couples, you only happen to know that your partner is a narcissist after 3 years or after 20 years. Okay? So, if there is intimidation, there is gaslighting, threats, or emotional exhaustion, seek the support from trusted people or mental health professionals because they can help you create a treatment plan safely. Okay? You can only realize that your partner is a narcissist if you feel intimidated with them, that you feel that if you feel that you're inferior while they're superior. So that is not a healthy relationship as spouses, as couple. Okay? And if you feel gaslighted, meaning by the time that they utter a word, you may change your reality. So meaning they gaslighted you, and that is already an indication that your partner or some of your family members are narcissists. Okay? An example of gaslighting, by the way, is just like in the Bible, Adam and Eve. Before the incident happened, Adam and Eve are always together having a conversation with God. But during the incident, that the snake went to the Garden of Eden and invited Eve to eat the fruit from the tree of life. And Eve said that, no, we are not allowed to eat the fruit from the tree because if we eat it, we will all be dead. That's the reality according to Eve. But when the serpent said that, no, you will never be dead. By the time that you eat the fruit, you will not be dead. Instead, you will know the truth. You will know what is wrong and what is right, what is truth and what is falsity. If you eat the fruit of the tree of life, you will know what is wrong and what is right. You will know what is the truth and what is falsity. By the time that the serpent said that to Eve, Eve has changed his mind, meaning she has changed her reality. She realized that, oh, really? The God will not punish us when we eat this? Okay, so something like that. Meaning, the deceitful serpent already gaslighted Eve in order to eat the fruit from the tree of life. Okay, so that is an example of gaslighting. Okay, most commonly among all these narcissists, it is their tactic to deceive the people around them is by using the gaslighting technique. Okay, so the thing for you to avoid deception is you must be careful with the words you hear from the people around you, because some of the words are designed to deceive you, okay, through the gaslighting technique of the narcissist. Okay, and another indication that if whether you are in an abusive relationship is when you experience more threats all the time. It is not a happy relationship. It is not a meaningful and sweet relationship because you are always threatened. Therefore, it is not good. It is not a good relationship. It's like you are living in a house burnt. Okay, you are living in hell. Okay, because of that toxic relationship. And most common indication also that you are in a toxic relationship is that you are always exhausted emotionally. You feel emotionally drained. You lose your power. You lose your energy because of your toxic partner. They kept you always be angry. They are doing something that makes you always sad. They're creating dramas in order to make you angry all the time. At the end of the day, you are emotionally drained. Okay, so you go to sleep, no energy, no power, because it is all absorbed by your toxic partner. Okay? So if that is the situation that you're always experiencing with your narcissistic and toxic partner, is that you should seek the support from trusted people or a mental health professional, psychiatrist or psychometrician. They can help you plan safely. They can provide you a treatment plan in order to overcome the narcissistic abuse. Okay? Ironically, one of the things that most unsettles a narcissistic person is not humiliation. Do not humiliate them. The more you humiliate them, the more they hate you so much. Remember that the narcissists, they are well versed in hating. Okay? So, it is realizing, rather, if you want to humiliate them, rather, do something that can make them realize they can no longer control your emotions, your attention, or self-worth. Okay? They can lose their control over your emotions, attention, and self-worth by establishing a firm boundary. Do not talk to them and do not pay attention to their dramas. Okay? Because you're more focused about yourself, boosting your confidence, you're busy in enhancing your self-worth. That is something that can make the narcissist powerless over you. Okay? So putting them into humiliation is not effective. Rather, do something. Do something that can make them realize they no longer have control over your emotions, attention, and self-worth. Okay? Handling someone with narcissistic traits can be emotionally draining, especially when the interaction becomes repetitive. It's very emotionally draining if the interaction is repetitive and confusing and the situation feels manipulative. So staying grounded, calm, and consistent with boundaries usually protects your peace more effectively than trying to win against them. You can never win a narcissist because, take note, they are well versed in hating. You cannot win above them in a form of argument. Argument is their forte because they are well versed in hating. So instead of winning over them, you rather stay grounded, stay calm, and be consistent with your boundaries. By doing it, usually protects your peace, which is more effectively than trying to win against them. Okay? I hope it is clear. So, I have few reminders that often help you in practice. Okay? Not every accusation deserves a defense. Okay? Meaning, if they accuse you of doing something, remember, do not react emotionally. Just respond wisely. And anyway, not every accusation deserves a defense. Okay? If you think that the accusation is need to be defend it in such a way that you respond wisely. But if you think that the accusation is pointless or it sounds useless, do not respond, nor react emotionally. And silence can be stronger than reacting emotionally. Okay, talking to the narcissist is pointless since they do not know how to respect you by the time that you're talking to them. So instead of talking too much, better be quiet because silence can be stronger than reacting emotionally. And consistency matters more than confrontation. So the consistency, is the boundary, your firmness in establishing boundary between you and them. If you're consistent on that you are more focused on yourself, you establish boundary, then that is the key for them, for you to make them realize that they no longer have the power to control you emotionally and mentally. Your attention is valuable, so you do not have to give unlimited access to it. when they create drama about you, or they create drama with you, and you feel offended, you will inevitably think about what they did to you that made you hurt. Okay? So, instead of thinking about the situation and about the drama that they created, do not think about it. Forget the drama they created, because the more you think about the situation and about their drama, the more you give your attention. And remember that your attention is valuable. You do not have to give unlimited access to it. Your attention is your power. So when you pay attention to their dramas, meaning you give away your power to them. Okay? So no matter how painful it is to you regarding the drama that they created to you, do not mind them. Do not think about that situation. Do not pay attention to them, because if you pay attention to them, you are only giving your power to them. And the more you give your power to them, the more you will become energetically drained and mentally manipulated. Okay? So, do not pay attention to the narcissist, because they are not worthy of your attention. Okay? So, focus more about yourself. Self-centeredness is the key to overcome the narcissist's self-absorbed personality. Okay? So, I hope that you grasp something in this episode. I hope to all victims of narcissistic abuse out there, believe in yourself. Please focus more on loving yourself and establish a firm boundary with these narcissistic people. Okay? So, be strong as a survivor from this narcissistic abuse. So, see you in the next episode. Love and light.